two in
Pray thee,
one.
good Mercutio, let's retire. The day is hot, the Capulets abroad, and if we meet, we shall not scape a brawl. For now, these hot days is the mad blood stirring.
Thou art like one of those fellows that when he enters the confines of a tavern cuts me with the sword upon the table and says, God, send me no need of thee, and by operation of the second cup draws it on the drawer, when indeed there is no need.
Am I like such a fellow?
Thou wilt quarrel with the man that hath no hair no more, or a hair less in his beard than thou hast. Thou wilt quarrel with a man for cracking nuts, having no other reason than because thou hast hazel eyes. Thy head is as full of quarrels as an egg is as full of meat, and yet thy head has been beaten as addle as an egg for quarreling. Dost thou not fall out with a tailor for wearing his new doublet before Easter, with another for tying his shoes with old ribbon, and yet you tutor me for quarreling?
And I were so apt to quarrel as thou art. Any man should buy the fee simple of my life for an hour and a quarter.
The fee simple, oh simple.
By my head, here comes a Capulet.
By my heel I care not.
Gentlemen, good den, a word with one of you.
And but one word with one of us. Couple it with something, make it a word and a blow.
You shall find me apt enough to that, sir, and you will give me an occasion.
Could you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consortest with Romeo.
Consort? What dost make us minstrels? Here's my fiddlestick. Here's that shall make you dance. Zounds, consort.
We talk here in the public haunt of men. Either withdraw into some private place and reason coldly of your grievances, or else depart. Here all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes were made to look. Let them gaze. I will not budge for no man's pleasure. I.
Well, peace be with you, sir. I have my man.
But I'll be hanged, sir, if you wear your livery.
Romeo, the hate I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the reason I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain I am none, therefore farewell. I see thou knowest me not.
Boy, this shall not excuse the injuries that thou hast done me. Therefore turn and draw.
To protest, I never injured thee, but love thee better than thou canst devise.
Oh, calm, desirable, vile submission. Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
Good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives. Will you pluck your sword out of its pitcher by the ears? Make haste, lest mine be about your ear ere it be out.
I am for you.
Gentle Mercutio, put thy rapier up.
Come, sir, your passado.
Drop in, Folio, beat down their weapons. Gentlemen, for shame, forbear this outrage. Tybalt, Mercutio, the prince has expressly forbidden bandying in Verona's streets.
I am hurt. The plague of both your houses. I am sped. Is he gone? And hath nothing?
What? Art thou hurt?
I, a scratch. Marry, 'tis enough.
Courage, man, the hurt cannot be much.
No, 'tis not so deep as a well, nor as wide as a church door, but 'tis enough. 'Twill serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a great man. I'm peppered. I warrant for this world. A plague on both your houses. Zounds! A dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat, to scratch a man to death. A braggart, a rogue, a villain, that fights by the book of his arithmetic. Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
Help me into some house, Benvolio, or I shall faint. A plague on both your houses. They have made worms meat of me.
This gentleman, the prince's near ally, my very friend, hath got his mortal hurt on my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander. Tybalt, that an hour hath been my kinsman. Sweet Juliet, thy beauty hath made me infamous, and my temper soft and valor steel.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, brave Mercutio is dead. That gallant spirit has inspired the clouds, which too untimely here did scorn the earth.
This day's black fate on more doth days depend. This but begins the woe, others must end.
Here comes the furious Tybalt back again.
Now, Tybalt, take the villain back again, for late thou gavest me. For Mercutio's soul is a little way above our heads, staying for thine to keep him company. Either thou or I, or both must go with him.
Thou wretched boy, that didst consort him here, shalt with him hence.
This shall determine that.
Romeo, away! Begone! The prince will doom thee death if thou art taken hence! Begone, away!
Oh, I am fortune's fool!
Why dost thou stay?
Where are the vile beginners of this fray?
O noble prince, I can discover all the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. There lies the man slain by young Romeo that slew thy kinsman, brave Mercutio.
Tybalt, my cousin, oh my brother's child, oh prince, oh cousin, prince, as thou art true, for blood of ours shed blood of Montague. Oh cousin.
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray?
Tybalt, here slain, whom Romeo's hand did slay, Romeo that spoke him fair, bade him bethink how nice the quarrel was, and urged with all your high displeasure. All this uttered with gentle breath, calm look, knees humbly bowed, could not take truce with the unruly spleen of Tybalt deaf to peace, but that he tilts with piercing steel at bold Mercutio's breast, who, all is hot, turns deadly point to point, and, with marital scorn, with one hand beats cold death aside, and with the other sends it back to Tybalt, whose dexterity retorts it. Romeo, he cries aloud, "Hold, friends, heart!" And swifter than his tongue, his agile arm beats down their fatal points, and twixt them rushes, underneath whose arm an envious thrust from Tybalt hit the life of stout Mercutio, and then Tybalt fled. But by and by comes back to Romeo, who had but newly entertained revenge, and to it they go like lightning, for ere I could draw to part them was stout Tybalt slain. And as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly. This is the truth, or let Benvolio die.
He is a kinsman to the Montague. Affection makes him false. He speaks not true. I beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him, he slew Mercutio, who now the price of his dear blood doth owe.
Not Romeo, prince. He was Mercutio's friend. His fault concludes but what the law should end, the life of Tybalt.
And for that offense, immediately do we exile him hence. I have an interest in your hate's proceeding. My blood for your rude brawls doth lie bleeding. But our mercy would so strong a fine that you shall all repent the loss of mine. I will be deaf to pleading and excuses. No tears, no prayers shall purchase out abuses. Therefore use none. Let Romeo hence in haste. Else when he's found, that hour is his last. Bear hence this body and attend our will. Mercy but murders, parting those that kill.
Come, civil knight, thou sober-suited matron all in black, and learn me how to lose a winning match, played for a pair of stainless maidenhoods. Hood my unmanned blood fading in my cheeks, with thy black mantle till strange love grown bold. Think true love and acted simple modesty. Come, night, come, Romeo. Come, thou day and night, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of back of night, whither than new snow on a raven's back. Come, gentle night, come, long, black-browed night. Oh, give me my Romeo, and when he shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars. And he will make the face of heaven so fine that no one will pay worship to the garish sun. Now, nurse, what news? What hast thou there? The cords that Romeo bid thee fetch?
I the cords.
I mean, what news? Why dost thou wring thy hands?
Oh, well a day. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. We are undone, lady. We are undone. Oh, lack of the day. He's gone. He's killed. He's dead.
And heaven be so envious?
You can. No, heaven cannot. Oh, Romeo, Romeo. I would have thought it. Romeo.
What devil art thou that dost torment me thus? This torture should be roared in dismal hell. Hath Romeo slain himself? Say thou but I, and that bare foul eye shall poison more than the death-darting eye of a cockatrice. I am not I, if there be such an eye. Or if those eyes shut, that make thee answer I. If he be slain, say I, or if not, no. Brief sounds determine my weal or woe.
Oh, Tybalt, Tybalt. My best friend I ever had. Courteous, Tybalt, honest gentleman, that I ever should live to see thee dead.
What storm is this that blows so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered and Tybalt dead? My dear loved cousin, and my dear lord. Then dreadful trumpets sound the general doom, for who is living if those two are gone?
Tybalt is dead. And Romeo banished. Romeo that killed him, he's banished.
Oh God, did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
It did. Alack the day, it did.
Oh, serpent heart, hid with a flowering face, did ever dragon keep so fair a cave? Beautiful tyrant, fiend angelical, how should deceit dwell in such a gorgeous palace?
There's no trust, no honesty, no faith. All perjured, all forsworn, all not. Shame come to Romeo.
Blessed be thy tongue. For such a wish he was not born to shame upon his brow. Shame is a shame to sit. Oh, what a beast was I to chide at him.
Will you speak well of him that killed your cousin?
Should I speak well? Should I speak ill of him that is my husband? Oh, my poor lord, what shall smooth thy name when I 3 hours' life have mangled it? But wherefore, villain, didst thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have killed my husband. Back, foolish tears, back to your native spring. My husband lives that Tybalt would have slain, and Tybalt's dead that would have slain my husband. All this is comfort. Wherefore weep I then? But, oh, it presses to my memory like damned sinners' guilty deeds. Tybalt is dead, and Romeo banished. That one word banished, it slain 10,000 Tybalts. And Tybalt's death was woe enough. If it had ended there, where is my mother and father, nurse?
Weeping and wailing over Tybalt's corpse. Will you go to them? I'll bring you thither.
Wash they his wounds with tears. Mine shall be spent where theirs are dry, for Romeo's banishment. Come, nurse, all to my wedding bed. And death, not Romeo, take my maidenhead.
Hie you to your chamber. I'll find Romeo to comfort you. I wot well where he is. I'll to him. He is at Lawrence's cell.
Oh, find him. Give him this ring. It's my true knight, and bid him that he come to take his last farewell.
Romeo, come forth. Come forth, thou fearful man. Affliction is enamored of thy parts, and thou art wedded to calamity.
Father, what news? What is the prince's doom?
Too familiar is my dear son with such sour company. I bring thee tidings of the prince's doom. A gentler judgment vanished from his lips. Not body's death, but body's banishment.
Banishment? Be merciful, say death, for exile hath more terror in his look, much more than death. Do not say banishment.
Hence from Verona art thou banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself. Hence, banished is banished from the world, and world's exile is death.
O deadly sin! O rude unthankfulness! Thy fault our law calls death, but the kind prince, taking thy part, hath rushed aside the law, and turned that black word death to banishment. This is dear mercy, and thou seest not.
'Tis torture and not mercy. Heaven is here where Juliet lives. And every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing may live here in heaven and look on her. But not Romeo, he is banished. Flies may do this, but I from this must fly. They are free men, but I am banished. And sayest yet that exile's not death? Hast thou no poison mixed, no sharp ground knife, no sudden mean of death, though never so mean, but banished to kill me? Banished?
Thou fond mad man, hear but me speak a word. Let me dispute with thee of thy estate.
Thou cannot speak of what thou dost not feel. For thou as young as I, Juliet thy love, an hour but married. Tybalt, murder, doting like me, and like me banished. Then might thou speak, then mightst thou tear thy hair and fall upon the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave.
Arise, one knocks. Could Romeo hide thyself?
Not I, unless the breath of heartsick groans mislike enfold me from the search of eyes.
Hark how they knock! Who's there? Romeo, arise, thou wilt be taken. Stay a while! Stand up! Run to my study! I come! Whence come you? What's your will?
Let me come in. I come from Lady Juliet.
Welcome then.
Holy Friar, oh, tell me, Holy Friar, where's my lady's lord? Where's Romeo?
There on the ground, with his own tears made drunk.
No, he is even in my mistress's case, just in her case, a woeful sympathy, piteous predicament. For Juliet's sake, stand. For her sake, rise and stand. Why should you fall so deep into an O?
Nurse!
I, sir. Well, that's the end of all.
Speakest thou of Juliet? How is it with her? She not think me an old murderer, now that I have stained the childhood of our joy with blood removed but little from our own? What says my concealed lady to our cancelled love?
Oh, she says nothing, sir, but weeps, and now falls on her bed, and then starts up, and then on calls Tybalt, and then calls Romeo, and then falls down again.
Oh, tell me, friar, tell me, what vile part of this anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me that I may sack this hateful mansion.
Hold thy desperate hand. Art thou a man? By my holy order, I thought thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou slain Tybalt? Wilt thou slay thyself? And stay thy lady too that lives in thee by doing damned hate upon thyself. Thy dear love sworn but hollow perjury, killing that love which thou hast vowed to cherish. Like powder in the skitless soldier's flask is set afire by thine own ignorance, and thou disremembered with thine own defense. What roused thee, man? Thy Juliet is alive, for whose dear sake thou wast but lately dead. The law that threatened death becomes thy friend and turns it to exile. There art thou happy. Happiness courts thee in her best array. But like a misbehaved and sullen wench, thou poutest upon thy fortune and thy love. Go, get thee to thy love, as was decreed. Ascend her chamber, hence and comfort her. But look, thou stay not till the watch be set, for then thou canst not pass to Mantua, where thou shalt live, till we can find a time to blaze your marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back. Go before, nurse. Commend me to thy lady. Romeo is coming.
My lord, I'll tell my lady that you will come.
Do so and prepare my sweet to chide.
Here, a ring she bade me give you, sir. Hi, you make haste.
Go hence. Good night. And here stands all your state. Either be gone before the watch be set, or by the break of day disguised from hence. Give thee thy hand. 'Tis late. Farewell. Good night.
Things have fallen out, sir, so unluckily, that we have had no time to move our daughter. Look you, she loved her kinsman Tybalt dearly, and so did I. Well, we were born to die.
These times of woe afford no time to woo. Madame, good night. Commend me to your daughter.
I will. And know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight she's mewed up in her heaviness.
Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. I think she will be ruled. Wife, go you to her ere you go to bed. Acquaint her here of my son Paris's love, and bid her, mark you me, on Wednesday next. But soft, what day is it?
Monday, my lord.
Monday. Well, Wednesday's too soon. A Thursday let it be. A Thursday tell her she will be married to this noble earl. Will you be ready? Do you like this haste?
My lord, I would that Thursday were tomorrow.
Well, get you gone. A Thursday be it then. Go you to Juliet ere you go to bed. Prepare her wife against this wedding day. Farewell, my lord.
Wilt thou be gone? It is not yet near day. It was the nightingale, and not the lark, that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear.
It was the lark, the herald of the morn, no nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do lace the severing clouds of yonder east. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Yon light is not daylight. I know it. I therefore stay yet. Thou needest not to be gone.
Let me be taken. Let me be put to death. I am content, as thou wilt have it so. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, and welcome. Juliet wills it so. How is it, my soul? It is not yet day.
It is. Hie hence, be gone away. It is the lark that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasing sharps. Oh, now be gone. More light and light it grows.
More light and light. More dark and dark our woes.
Madam, your lady mother is coming to your chamber. The day is broke. Be wary, look about.
Farewell, farewell.
Art thou gone so? Love, lord, I, husband, friend, I must hear from thee every day in the hour, for in a minute there are many days.
Farewell. I will omit no opportunity to convey my greetings, love, to thee.
Oh God, I have an ill divining soul. Methinks I see thee now thou art dead. Thou art below, as one dead in the bottom of a tomb. Either my eyesight fails or thou lookest pale.
And trust me, love, in my eyes so do you. Dry sorrow drinks our blood. Adieu, adieu.
Oh, fortune, fortune be fickle fortune. For then I hope thou wilt not keep him long, but send him back.
Oh, daughter, are you up?
Who is it that calls? Is it my lady mother?
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
More weeping for your cousin's death? What, wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears? Have done. Some grief shows much of love, but much of grief shows want of wit.
Feeling so the loss cannot choose, but ever weep the friend.
Well, girl, thou weepest not so much for his death as the villain which slaughtered him.
What villain, madam?
That same villain, Romeo.
Villain, and he may be many miles asunder. Ay, madam, from the reach of my hands, would not but I avenge my cousin's death.
Well, we'll have vengeance for it, fear thou not. Then weep no more. I'll send to one in Mantua, where that same banished renegade doth live, shall give him such an unaccustomed dram that he shall soon keep Tybalt company, and then, I hope, thou wilt be satisfied.
Indeed, I never shall be satisfied with Romeo till I behold him dead. Is my poor heart for a kinsman vexed? To bear poison, I would temper it, that Romeo should, upon receipt thereof, soon sleep in quiet.
Find thou the means, and I'll find such a man. But now I'll tell thee of joyful tidings, girl.
And joy comes well in such times. What are they? I beseech you, ladyship.
Marry, my child, early next Thursday morn, the gallant, young, and noble gentleman, the County Paris, at St. Peter's Church, shall happily make thee there a joyful bride.
I wonder at this haste that I must wed. Ere he that should be my husband comes to woo, I pray you tell my lord and father, madam, I will not marry yet. And when I do, I swear it shall be Romeo, whom you know I hate, rather than Paris. These are news indeed.
Here comes your father. Tell him to yourself, and see how he will take it at your hands.
How now? What? Still in tears? Evermore showering? How now, wife, have you delivered to her our decree?
Aye, sir, but she will none. She gives you thanks.
Soft. Take me with you. Take me with you, wife. How? Will she none? Does she not give us thanks? Is she not proud?
Not proud you have, but thankful you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is meant love.
Proud, and I thank you not, and yet not proud. Mistress minion, you thank me nor thankings, nor proud me nor prouds, but settle your fine joints against Thursdays next, to go to Paris with St. Peter's Church, or I will drag thee on a hurdle thither.
Fie, are you mad?
Good father, I beseech you on my knees. Hear me with patience, but to speak a word.
I'll tell thee what. Get thee to church a Thursday, or ne'er after look me in the face. My fingers itch. Wife, we scarce thought us blessed that God had lent us but this only child, but now I see this one is one too much, and we have a curse in having her.
You are too hot.
God's bread. It makes me mad. Day, night, hour, tide, time, work, play, alone, in company, still my care hath been to have her matched. And then to have a wretched pulling fool, a whining mammet in her fortune's tender, to answer, I'll not wed, I cannot love. Thursday is near, lay hand on heart, advise, and you be mine. I'll give you to my friend, and you be not. Hang, beg, starve, die in the streets. I will not be forsworn.
Sweet my mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week.
Talk not to me, for I'll not speak a word. Do as thou wilt, for I have done with thee.
Oh God, oh nurse, how shall this be prevented? Alack, that heaven should practice stratagems upon so soft a subject as myself. What sayest thou? Hast thou not a word of joy, some comfort, nurse?
Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing, that he dare ne'er comes back to challenge you. I think it best that you married with the county. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a dishclout to him. Beshrew my very heart, I think you are happy in the second match, for it excels your first. Or if it did not, your first is dead. Or 'twould as good he were, as living here and you've no use of him.
Speakest thou from thy heart?
And from my soul, too, or else beshrew them both.
Oh, thou hast comforted me marvelous much. Go in, and tell my lady I am gone, having displeased my father to Lawrence's cell, to make confession and to be absolved.
Marry, I will, and this is wisely done.
Most wicked fiend, is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn? or to dispraise my lord with the same tongue which she had praised him above compare so many thousand times. Go, counselor, I'll to the friar to know his remedy. If all else fail, myself have power to die.
On Thursday, sir? The time is very short.
My father Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing slow to slack his haste.
You say you do not know the lady's mind. Uneven is the course, I like it not.
Moderately she weeps for Tybalt's death, and therefore have I little talked of love, for Venus smiles not in a house of tears. Now, sir, her father counts it dangerous that she doth give her sorrows so much sway, and in his wisdom haste our marriage, to stop the inundation of her tears, which, too much minded by herself alone, may be put from her by society. Now, do you know the reason of this haste?
I would I knew not why it should be slowed. Look, sir, here comes the lady towards my cell.
Happily met, my lady and my wife.
That may be, sir, when I may be a wife.
That may be must be, love, on Thursday next. Come you to make confession to this father?
To answer that, I should confess to you.
Do not deny to him that you love me.
I will confess to you that I love him.
So will ye, I'm sure, that you love me.
If I do so, it will be of more price behind spoke your back than to your face.
Poor soul, thy face is much abused with tears.
The tears have got small victory by that, for it was bad enough before their spite.
Thou wrongst it more with tears with that report.
That is no slander, sir, which is the truth. And what I spake it to my face.
Thy face is mine, and thou hast slandered it.
It may be so, for it is not mine own. Are you at leisure, Holy Father, now, or shall I come to you at evening mass?
My leisure serves me, pensive daughter, now. My lord, we must entreat the time alone.
God shield I should disturb devotion. Juliet, on Thursday will I rouse you, and adore you with this kiss.
Oh, shut the door! When thou hast done so, come weep with me. Past hope, past cure, past help.
Ah, Juliet, I already know thy grief. It strains me past the compass of my wits. I hear thou must, and nothing may prorogue it, on Thursday next be married to this county.
If in thy wisdom thou canst give no help, do thou but call my resolution wise, and with this knife I'll help it presently. God join my heart in Romeo's, thou our hands, and ere this hand by thee Romeo sealed, shall be the label to another deed. My true heart with treacherous revolt, turn to another, this shall slay them both. Be not so long to speak, I long to die. If what thou speakest speak not of remedy.
Hold, daughter. I do spy a kind of hope. If rather than to marry County Paris, thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself, then it is likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death, to chide away the shame that copest with death himself to escape from it. And if thou darest, I'll give thee remedy.
Oh, bid me leap, rather than marry Paris, from off the battlements of yonder tower, or shut me nightly in a charnel house, or covered quite with the dead man's rattling bones, or bid me go into a new-made grave, and hide me with the dead man in his shroud, things that to hear them told have made me tremble. And I will do it without fear or doubt, to live an unstained wife to my sweet love.
Hold, then. Go home. Be merry. Give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, look that thou lie alone. Let not thy nurse lie with thee in thy chamber. Take thou this vial, being then in bed, and this distilled liquor drink thou off. When presently, though, all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor, for no pulse, no warmth, no breath shall testify thou livest. And in this borrowed likeness of shrunk death, thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as from a pleasant sleep. Now, when the bridegroom in the morning comes to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead. Then, as the manner of our country is, thou shalt be borne to the same ancient vault where all the kindreds of the Capulets lie. In the meantime, against thou shalt awake, shall Romeo by my letters know our drift, and hither shall he come, and he and I will watch thy waking, and that very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Mantua.
Give me, oh, tell me not to fear.
Hold. Get you gone. Be strong and prosperous in this resolve. I'll send a friar with speed to Mantua, and with my letters to thy lord.
Lord, give me strength, and strength shall help me afford. Farewell, dear father.
What, is my daughter gone to Friar Lawrence?
Aye, forsooth.
Well, he may chance to do some good on her. A peevish, self-willed harlotry it is.
See where she comes from, shrift with a merry look.
How now, my headstrong? Where have you been guiding?
Where I have learned me to repent the sin of disobedient opposition to you and your behests, and am enjoyed by holy Lawrence to fall prostrate here and beg your pardon.
Send for the county. Go tell him of this. I'll have this knot knit up tomorrow morning.
I met the youthful lord at Lawrence cell, and gave him what become to love I might, not step over the bounds of modesty.
Well, I am glad on it. This is well. Stand up.
Nurse, will you go with me into my closet to help me sort such needful ornaments as you think fit to furnish me tomorrow?
No, not till Thursday. There's time enough.
Go, nurse. Go with her. Well, to church tomorrow. What? Are you busy? How? Need you my help?
No, madam. We have called such necessities as our proposal for our state tomorrow, so please, let me be, and let the nurse this night sit up with you.
Good night. Get thee to bed and rest, for thou hast need.
Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint cold fear that thrills through my veins, that almost freezes up the heat of life. I'll call him back again to comfort me. Mother! Oh, what should she do here? My dismal scene I needs must act alone. Come, Vial. What if this mixture do not work at all? Should I be married then tomorrow morning? No. This shall forbid it. Lie thou there. Oh, if when I am laden to the tomb I wake before the time that Romeo come to redeem me, there's a fearful point. Shall I not then be stifled in the vault with those who foul mouth no wholesome air breathes in? And there die strangled ere my Romeo comes. Or if I live, it is not very like the horrible conceit of death and night. Oh, together with the terror of this place as in a vault and ancient receptacle where for these many hundred years the bones of all my buried ancestors are packed, where bloody Tybalt yet with green and earth lies festering in his shroud, or as they say at some hours in the night spirits resort. Oh, if I wake, shall I not be distraught and environed with all these hideous fears, and madly play with my poor father's joints, and pluck the mangled Tybalt from his shroud, and in this rage with some great kinsman's bone, as with a club, dash out my desperate brains. Oh, look, methinks I see my cousin's ghost now, seeking out Romeo, who doth spit him upon the rapier's point. Romeo, I come. This I drink to thee.
Mistress, what mistress? Juliet, fast I warrant her she. Why, love, I say, madam, sweetheart, why, bride, sleep for a week, for the next night I warrant the county pears that set up his arrest, that you shall rest but little. God forgive me. Mary and amen. How sound asleep she is. I must needs wake her. Madam, madam, madam. What, dressed in your clothes and down again? I must needs wake you. Lady, lady, lady. Alas, alas, help, help! My lady's dead!
What noise is here?
Oh, lamentable day!
What is the matter?
Look, oh, heavy day!
Oh, me. Oh, me. My child. My only life. Help! Help! Call help! For shame, bring Juliet forth. Her lord is come.
She's dead. Deceased, she's dead. Alack the day!
Blood is settled, and her joints are stiff. Life and these lips have long been separated. Death lies on her like an untimely frost upon the sweetest flower of the field.
Oh, lamentable day!
Oh, woeful time! Death that had ta'en her hence to make me wail ties up my tongue and will not let me speak.
Come, is the bride ready to go to church?
Ready to go, but never to return. O son, the night before thy wedding day hath death lain with thy wife. There she lies, flower as she was, deflowered by him.
Have I thought long to see this morning's face, and doth it give me such a sight as this?
Accursed, unhappy, wretched, hateful day! Most miserable hour that e'er time saw in lasting labor of his pilgrimage!
Oh, woe! Oh, woeful day! Most lamentable day! Oh, most woeful day that I ever I did yet behold.
Oh, love. Oh, life. Not life, but love and death.
Oh, child, my soul and not my child. Dead art thou, alack, my child is dead, and with my child my joys are buried.
Ito, for shame. Confusion's cure lives not in these confusions. Heaven and yourself had part in this fair maid. Now heaven hath all, and all the better it is for the maid. Dry up your tears and stick your rosemary on this fair corpse, and, as the custom is, in all her best array bear her to church. For though fond nature bids us in lament, yet nature's tears are reason's merriment.
All things that we ordained festival turn from their office to black funeral. Our bridal flowers serve for a buried corpse, and all things change them to the contrary.
If I may trust the flattering truth asleep, my dreams presage some joyful news at hand. I dreamt my lady came and found me dead, and breathed such life with kisses in my lips, I revived and was an emperor. Me, how sweet is love itself possessed, when but love's shadows are so rich in joy. News from Verona. How now, Balthazar? Dost thou not bring me letters from the friar? How doth my lady? Is my father well? How fares my Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
Then she is well, and nothing can be ill. Her body sleeps in Capulet's monument, and her immortal part with angels lives. Oh, pardon me for bringing these ill news, since you did leave it for my office, sir.
Is this even so? Then I defy you, stars. Hire post horses. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, sir, have patience.
Leave me and do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no letters from me to the friar?
No, my good lord.
No matter. Get thee gone. I'll be with thee straight. Well, Juliet, I will be with thee tonight. I do remember an apothecary. Sharp misery had worn him to the bones, and in his needy shop a tortoise hung, an alligator stuffed, and other skins. Remnants of pack threads and old cakes of roses were thinly scattered to make up a show. Noting this penury, to myself I said, and if a man did need poison now, whose sale is present death in Mantua, here lives a captive wretch who would sell it to him. As I remember, this should be the house. What ho, apothecary!
What call so loud?
Come hither, man. I see thou art poor. Hold, here's 40 ducats. Let me have a dram of poison, such soon speeding gear that the life-weary taker may fall dead as violently as hasty powdered, fired, doth hurry from the fatal cannon's womb.
Such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's law is death to any he that utters them.
The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich. Then be not poor, but break it, and take this.
My poverty, but not my will, consents.
I pay thy poverty, and not thy will.
Put this in any liquid thing you will, and drink it off, and if you had the strength of 20 men, it would dispatch you straight.
Farewell. Buy food, and get thyself in flesh. Come, cordial, and not poison. Go with me to Juliet's grave, for there I must use thee.
Holy Franciscan friar, brother, ho!
Welcome from Mantua. What says Romeo? Or if his mind be rich, give me his letter.
Going to find a barefoot brother out, one of our order, to associate me here in the city visiting the sick, and finding him, the searchers of the town, suspecting that we both were in a house where the infectious pestilence did reign, sealed up the doors and would not let us forth, so that my speed to Mantua there was stayed.
Who bear my letter then to Romeo?
I could not send it. Here it is again. Nor get a messenger to bring it thee, so fearful were they of infection.
Unhappy fortune! Friar John, go hence. Get me an iron crow, bring it straight unto my cell.
Brother, I'll go and bring it thee.
Now must I to the monument alone. Within 3 hours will fair Juliet wake. I will write again to Mantua, and keep her in my cell till Romeo come. Poor living corpse, closed in a dead man's tomb.
Sweet flower, with flowers thy bridal bed I strew. Oh woe, thy canopy is dust and stones, which with sweet water nightly I will do. What cursed foot wanders this way tonight, to cross my obscenities in true love's right? Oh, with a torch, muffle me right a while.
Thou detestable maw, thou womb of death, gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth, thus I enforce thy rotten jaws to open, and despite I'll cram thee with more food.
This is that banished haunting Montague that murdered my love's cousin, with which grief, as it is supposed, the fair creature died, and here is to come do some villainous shame to the dead bodies. I will apprehend him. Stop, thy unhallowed toil, vile Montague, condemned villain. I do apprehend thee. Obey and come with me, for thou must die.
I must indeed, and therefore I came hither. Good gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man. Fly hence and leave me. Think upon these gone, let them affright thee. I beseech thee, youth, put not another sin on my head by urging me to fury. Oh, be gone.
I do defy thy conjurations, and apprehend thee for a felon here.
Wilt thou provoke me? Then have at thee, boy.
Oh, I'm slain. If thou be merciful, open the tomb, lay me with Juliet.
In faith I will. Let me peruse this face. Mercutio's kinsman, the noble County Paris. Told me Paris should have married Juliet. Said he not so? Or did I dream it so? I'll bury thee in a triumphant grave. A grave. Oh no, slaughtering youth, a lantern. For here lies Juliet, and her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. Death, lie thou there, by a dead man interred. Oh, my love, my wife! Death that had sucked the honey of thy breath hath no power yet upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered. Beauty and sign is yet crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks. Death's pale flag is not advanced there. Tybalt, liest thou there in thy bloody sheets? Oh, forgive me, cousin. Dear Juliet, why art thou so fair? I will stay with thee, and never from this place of dim night depart again. Here I will remain with the worms that are thy chambermaids. Oh, here I will set of my eternal rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars with this world-weary flesh. Eyes, look your last, arms, take your last embrace, and breath, and lips, oh, you doors of breath, seal with the righteous kiss a dayless bargain to a grossing death. Here's to thy love. Oh, true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Thus, with the kiss I die.
Oh heavens! Oh wife, look how our daughter bleeds!
Oh me, this sight of death is as a bell that warns my old age to a sepulchre.
Come, Montague, for thou art early up, to see thy son and heir more early down.
Alas, my liege, my wife is dead tonight. Grief at my son's exile hath stopped her breath. What further woe conspires against mine age?
Look, and thou shalt see.
Oh, thou untaught, what manners is in this, to press before thy father to a grave?
Seal up the mouth of outrage for a while, till we can clear these ambiguities, and know their spring, their head, their true descent. Then will I be general of your woes, and lead you even to death. Meantime forbear, and let mischance be slave to patience. Bring forth the party of suspicion.
Here I stand, both to impeach and purge myself condemned and myself excused.
Okay. Then say at once what thou dost know in this.
I will be brief, for my short date of breath is not so long as is a tedious tale. Romeo, there dead, was husband to that Juliet, and she, there dead, that Romeo's faithful wife. I married them, and their stolen marriage day was Tybalt's doomsday, whose untimely death banished the new-made bridegroom from the city, for whom, and not for Tybalt, Juliet pined. You, to remove that siege of grief from her, betrothed and would have married her perforce to County Paris. Then comes she to me, and with wild looks bid me devise some mean to rid her from this second marriage, or in my cell there would she kill herself. Then gave I her, so tutored by my art, a sleeping potion, which took so effect as I intended, for it wrought on her a form of death. Meantime I writ to Romeo that he should come hither, come as this dire night, to help to take her from her borrowed grave, being the time the potion's force should cease. But he which bore my letter, Friar John, was stayed by accident, and yesternight returned my letter back. Then, all alone at the prefixed hour of her waking, came I to take her from her kindred's vault, meaning to keep her closely at my cell till I conveniently could send to Romeo. But when I came, some minute ere the time of her awaking, here untimely lay the noble Paris and true Romeo dead. She wakes, and I entreated her to come forward and bear this work of heaven with patience. But then the noise did scare me from the tomb, and she, too desperate, would not go with me, but, as it seems, did violence on herself. All this I know, and to the marriage her nurse is privy. And if aught in this miscarried by my fault, let my old life be sacrificed some hour before this time unto the rigor of severest law.
We still have known thee for a holy man. Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague? See what a scourge is laid upon your hate, that heaven finds means to kill your joys with love. And I, for winking at your discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished.
O brother Montague, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand.
I can give thee more, for I will raise her statue in pure gold, that while Verona by that name is known, there shall no figure at such rate be set as that of true and faithful Juliet.
As rich shall Romeo's by his lady lie, poor sacrifices of our enmity.
A gloom and peace this morning with it brings, the sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence to have more talk of these sad things, some shall be pardoned and some punished, for never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.
Skies in the forecast, troubled mind in the overcast. Don't know how long we're gonna last. Homicidal thoughts to the past. Wanna kill the motherfuckers that killed Trevor. I wanna kill the motherfuckers that killed Noah. Zero lessons from some overthrow. Never let a drunk pull another. More burn bringing to together. More silver ties making naughty. Lost crossing boundaries, making holiday Scotty too. Don't know what to do about my place. Life bringing tears to my face. Kanye bringing down my race. It's ironic that I call the slums uplifting. It's ironic that I call just my older brother. Savage ain't ready, but I still love her. And more self-esteem to recover. But I'ma fuck up. I'ma fuck up. I'ma fuck up.
Okay, this too shall pass. Everything passes, thank you. You bet.